All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are in the webinar right now. So I want to say welcoming with our speaker is Mr. Sandeep Khanna, and also our speaker is Ms. Anggi Eka Prativi. And also, I want to say thank you with every audience here. So let's start our webinar right now. So our webinar, the topic is financial economic in India. So then I will say reopening with Mr. Rizal Maula first.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Anissa.
Mr. Rizal, could you open your mic?
Okay, sorry. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, alhamdulillahirrahmanirrahim. Wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrofil anbiya'i wal mursalin sayyidina wa maulana Muhammadin wa ala alihi washabihi ajmain. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min yafqahu qawli, amma ba'du. Honorable Miss Anggi Eka Pratiwi, Honorable also Mr. Sandeep Khanna, and Honorable all attendants. I will introduce about PCINU India. What is PCINU India? Is PCI India is the management of the special overseas branch of Nahdlatul Ulama. Is also an organization of Association of Indonesian Nahdlatul Ulama citizens in India, which focus on developing member human resource such as education and culture, and developing international networks such as trade and diplomatic relations for the advancement of civilization. I am as chairman of PCINU India. I'm pleased and honored by the presence of speaker at our activities. Thank you, Ms. Anggi, and thank you, Mr. Sandeep. I'm pleased and honored by the presence of speaker at our activities. And I also thank the attendants who took part in our activity today. I hope that in this activity, we can learn a lot about financial technology in India. This civilization webinar activity will be sustainability and will be held once a week. I hope this civilization webinar activity can be useful for all of us to advance world civilization and especially humanity. Thank you for your presence on today's webinar. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, thank you very much for Mr. Rizal Maula. I hope everyone excited for joining or listen to our today webinar. So everyone, let me introduce myself. My name is Airunisa Maharani. I'm a Jamia student, and today I will become your moderator in this webinar. And before we start, I will just want to explain a brief explanation about our topic discussed is financial technology in India. So we have already two speaker here is Miss Anggi Eka Prativi and also Mr. Sandeep Khanna. They are from IIT Jodhpur. So Mr. Khanna is a PhD student in IIT Jodhpur. His programmer is a computer science and engineering department. And also Ms. Anggi Eka Prativi is the director of institution relation department of PPI Dunia. So before we start our discuss, I want to explain about India is a global fintech superpower in among the faster growing fintech market in the world. Currently, they have a 2,000 DPIIT recognized financial technology startup in India, with this number growing faster. So that's why we will discuss this in this topic webinar is financial technology in India. For for that, let me invite the first speaker is Miss Anggi Eka Pretiwi. So time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Nisa. Thank you, Mas Rizal, for inviting me to give this talk discussion about the financial technology here. I just want to discuss with you all guys about my experience as a user in India, how I use the financial technology and what I know about the financial technology now going on in India. So maybe for the expert later, who will talk about the technology and talk about the regulation and impact factor in India using the financial when it is started and all. Maybe my friend will be talk about it later. So can I share my screen as, so maybe I can give you just little more the introduction about financial technology. My screen is visible. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So as you know, nowadays technology is growing so fast, even in Indonesia, but I still don't know what's going on in Indonesia, but the financial technology growth. But here the first, what is, as we are now in here in multiple background, not only in technology, not in engineering field, as you know, and we all use the financial technology as daily activity. Like if you can read what is financial technology, what I wrote in here, it's too much theoretical, maybe a bit confusing, but what I can say, financial technology, it's like automatization the financial service. If you open your phone, I'm sure that you use the e-commerce for buying stuff. Like when we are studying in India, we're buying stuff from Amazon, from Flipkart, Myntra, etc. Then there we need to pay something. Either you use a transfer from the card or from the UPI. As we know in India is very famous UPI, but in Indonesia also we have the same thing. But in Indonesia we still classical, we use just transfer, but now I heard some that it's improvement in financial technology in Indonesia. We use the KRIS, yeah. It's a one product from the banking system in Indonesia that what I know now. It's almost same like UPI, but not that like the facility is not similar. It's just different. It's just like direct QR code and you use that scan and pay, but only from the bank account which you already registered. And also in here, the financial technology as a financial services. When you can say now they very booming the news regarding the cryptocurrency, also Bitcoin. If you are following the news about that, that's also part of financial technology. Not only that, the organization between like banking system, the data which we have, it's also part of the constructing the financial technology itself. So I hope you understand from this little bit explanation about the financial technology is, as we already use that as our daily activity also. So that's what it is. So for financial technology. Maybe if I'm wrong, later will be Sandeep sir will be increase more what is in the simple ways what is financial technology. In here, what does financial technology cover? Financial technology cover in every sector, even in the personal finance, like our bank account, payment and billing. If you are paying the bills, electricity bills, gas bill, and etc., it's also part of the financial technology cover. So about the money transfer, which we have a lot of problem in here in India, that we cannot transfer directly from our bank account to Indonesian bank account. That's so complicated regulation, because we actually can do that in the remittance. But the thing is, we don't have our own source, so we cannot direct transfer from bank to bank. So that's also, as a foreigner here, we have so much issue about it. That also fintech cover actually, that as a homework, how the financial technology can solve this problem. It's not only to Indonesia, and also in other countries that we will heard about that later, why the government is doing that in India. Actually, it's just for protecting that the money transaction going to foreign country, also in inside country itself. Not only that, in the wealth management, also capital market leading, crypto also, as you heard some news now, India also want to make digital currency, or already have a digital currency currently. That also part of the financial technology. Now, I'm talking about the financial technology in Indonesia, which really it's very famous and happening in the trouble side, not in the advantage side. As all you know from here, you notice something, or you understand what kind of app it is in Indonesia. So it's kind of financial technology loans, which very dangerous in Indonesia also, because we have no good technology to cover and to give solution about it. Even in OJK itself, we already like defended how to make the good solution from the financial loan itself. If you remember, like few years, we have facing a lot of issue in this, because of not only us as a user, and also bank system also, like they make it so much of the problem. From these financial loans, they kind of doing it illegally, or somehow it is illegal, but also give a bad impact to another person, because in this regulation, and you can easily get the money, but it's very trouble how to pay it, because when I want to pay it back, but I don't have money, I can easily skip that, and it make actually problem for the people who you register in these apps, or whatever it is. When you register, because in here there is a choice, you need to refer to someone that whenever I cannot call you, but I can call someone else. That's how the financial loan in Indonesia happened. That also it's kind of, now it's a big problem. But I'm sure the slowly the government also already make the regulation that OJK is there. They should be checked the register people. It should be have the valid identity card, and also valid mobile number. So this is which I'm not heard in India. I mean, they construct the financial technology so good. So this, what happening in Indonesia, it's not happened in India. But when I heard some news about this, also it's happened in India, but not that much as in Indonesia, happening in Indonesia. That maybe we can see that the good things about how the opportunity or how the financial technology growth in India. This is one of the example which we should aware of it, and we should know which one is the legal one and which one is not in illegal one, based on the financial technology. So based on this example, which I take from Indonesian side, now we compare with the financial technology in India. Okay, wait. Here, what I know about the India, how India is very successful to defend from that kind of the activity because of the UPI technology. I'm a big fan of UPI technology in India, because when I go back to Indonesia, this is not that. Why I can say that I'm talking as a perspective of user in India, because I'm not really sure about the how it's a work and how it's built and how the government regulation about it, because this technology is make our life so easy. Even in Indonesia, we already have so many, but in different application. In this UPI technology, which I use every day in my daily activity in India, they can easily link to all the apps, all the payment apps like GPay, PhonePe, Paytm, and also they link to all the e-commerce section and also link to every sector in India. That's make some like financial transaction more easier. Because of what, I can show you some of the example in here. In the small shop, like we call it in Indonesia toko kelontong ya. In toko kelontong or in the small shop, not like in a big market, like not in the mall, we still need to give them cash, either card, debit card or credit card, and we should need to carry something. Either we used to carry our mobile, but we should carry another else like card, cash money and all. That's because of sometime in the toko kelontong, they not provide the QR code from the every application what we have in Indonesia. That is very difficult. But in India, most of them, not all, most of them, they already have either from the Paytm, Google Pay, or PhonePe. It's almost available there, so it's make you easier to pay. And also, we have a record what we buy. Because if we carry the cash, it's very difficult to record, oh, where my money gone and where it's it's where I buy something, or I don't know, that we don't have the record. But in here, with this UPI technology, we easily know, oh, I buy this in this shop. If we pay even more than usual, more than what we need to pay, we can come back and ask them to return the money back easily. This is in the shop, in the small shop, even in the auto rickshaw. As we know, we have Gojek in Indonesia, and also some of the taxi which we use app. We can also pay directly from the wallet or directly from the bank, which link to that apps. But in here, we don't need to do that. We just you need to have a one apps which we can scan and directly pay. That is easy and simple way. And that money, we don't need to transfer from our bank account to the wallet. That's not happening. We need just connect your app directly to the bank. So the money from them, from the bank directly deducted and paid to this auto rickshaw man. And also in a petrol pump, you can find it easily. You can pay. You don't need to carry cash. You don't need to carry any card or anything which it make you in trouble. You just need to carry. But yes, I know if your mobile, it's the battery is limit that over because we need that, because we should keep our battery safe so we can pay easily. And also network, that also one of the disadvantage. Maybe if we are planning to apply this in Indonesia, I'm sure the network in Indonesia is still not stable. So some of the part of Indonesia also we have the issue with the network, or some of the part the network not that fast. Like in India, almost all Indian line is covered by a 4G network. But in Indonesia, we still have to improve that network. Yes, if we want to grow to next level in financial technology properly, so we should that foundation. First is electricity. With electricity, we can build the network. Then the second is the network, it should be stable. That's the good thing for the financial technology actually. And this also another example. If we want to transfer the money among our friends, that's also the trouble in Indonesia, because we need to go to pay ATM center, transfer, and do transaction here. Or if we should have mobile banking, internet banking, etc. Yes, if the same bank with our friend have the same bank, I mean, that we don't have need to pay the fees. But from here, you can connect to any bank, you can connect to any kind of the brand of the bank. So there is no like fees. But in Indonesia, we transfer, we have fee. Only same bank we not have fee. But in UPI technology, we easily to send money. Like this is the example of the transaction, which I sent just that Mbak Kade sent recently to me, and it's directly goes through my bank account. So, and also we don't need to afraid to share this kind of transaction in the media, because when the money already transferred, whatever you have done, you cannot do anything. Even like you want to hack it or you want to eavesdrop this kind of the transaction. No, that's not happening, because in here also, as you know, one of the example also, from the below, from the lower until the up, they use the technology. I heard one of the news, it's the same like kind of the in China. In China, they also use same technology like WeChat Pay payment. So in India also, they use that activity from the beggar itself. So it helped them because of the shopkeeper and etc. Maybe it will be help them to pay easily without giving the cash money to the shop if they are wanted to buy food, water, and etc. And the next thing, what I wanted to show you how it's the app's good. See in here, I was so amazed with this technology also. When I want to do transaction and we are on the call, and this application give us attention. So this is, protect from the hacker people. So you should do it in the right way. So whenever, as you see here, I'm doing calling with my friend and I need to transfer as fast as possible the money, and here still give you attention that your money need to exactly you should put pin same as your pin, so it should be not wrong, but you should be careful. Sometimes the network in the phone also can record your pin. That's why they give you attention in here. And as I say, as a user experience in India, it's very easy in every e-commerce in every kind of the shop, online shop, they always attach this UPI apps or UPI transaction. Like this here I attach in iFresh. This is one of e-commerce for buying fruit and vegetable here. They allow payment UPI, and this is so easy, and just pay and send. That was my experience in India using this financial technology that amazed me. So other than that, and also the security in UPI here is very, very good. As we are foreigner, we cannot make the normal bank account. We have the NRO account. That also make us, they give limitation, like in PayTM itself, I cannot register my PayTM as the like registered member, because from here they need KYC. That's also need to explain for you KYC or know your customer in the RBI system or Bank of Indian system. They introduce that for know your customer better. So all the detail of the customer, they should be recorded properly. So it will be help to defend from such kind malicious activity for using what's happening in Indonesia now. They are uploading data, they taking the data from us easily and use as a finance loans, that even we not take the loan because our identity card is published in internet, so they use it as a financial loan. That also a big issue and big problem in Indonesia. But it's from, I think from this UPI technology, it can prevent that such as kind of that activity. And also what amazed me in India, because of this UPI, every financial transaction is becoming so easy. Even as we know nowadays in Indonesia also, we can put the money easily without queuing in the bank. And that's happening right now. And also in here, we can exchange easily. And also we can transfer, we can pay easily. And we don't need to worry about the security, because they link through the mobile phone, link through your identity card also. Yeah, from that discussions, maybe if you have any questions, that's what I know from the UPI system and the UPI user experience in India. Thank you. I will return back to Khairanisa.
Okay, thank you for Miss Angie for all of material that's happening in here also. As you know, I'm student here, and sometimes I'm feeling jealous because India has a great technology of financial. Because in my country is everywhere we should to bring the cash, and here almost daily I'm not bring the cash. Even also auto rickshaw, we can payment by online. So in my country it's not like that, so we should to bring a lot of cash, and sometimes it's a danger because someone can steal our money in outside. But here is safety also, the technology has a OTP verification. So this is the very very easy for human. So maybe in audience has a question for Miss Angie. Okay, if maybe we will discuss in the next. First, we will continue with the other speaker is Mr. Deep Khanna. We will continue with him and he will be explain some material about financial technology in India, and after that we will be discussed together about this topic. So sir, let you introduce you introduce yourself, then after that you explain material.
Okay, am I audible?
Yes sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Harunisha. Thank you, Angie, and the entire team for the invitation. Okay, I think a lot of thing has been spoken by Angie related to the financial technology in India, right? And basically, she has introduced a UPI. UPI is a unified payment interface which has been launched in the India, I think, somewhat in the year 2016, right? So a lot of things have been covered by Angie. I am basically going to give you an insight why this UPI has been so successful in India and what is the reason behind it, what is the underlying technology, how it is implemented, right? So I remember the year 2016, there was a demonetization scheme which was being introduced by the government of India. Possibly one possible reason for that is to reduce corruption, right? So the new set of currencies has been introduced in the market, right? And people were asked to exchange their old currencies with the new currencies. Okay, so what has happened there? Apart from that demonetization scheme, there was a digital India movement also which was started, and it becomes a success in the year 2016, wherein the NPCI, which is National Payment Corporation of India, has introduced this concept of UPI. Now, what exactly UPI is? UPI is providing you, and why it is very successful. It is because of its simplicity, right? What is simple is how simple it is, and like Angie already told that you need not have to train someone to make use of UPI, right? It's just in a piece of an app. You can download the app from the Google Play Store. It is available. There are different apps, UPI apps, some third-party UPI apps. There are some government UPI apps. There are some individual banks also. They have created their own UPIs. You can use their UPIs. You can download the UPIs from the Play Store, and you just have to link your bank account with the UPI. Okay. Now, what is the key benefit of UPI? It allows users to make payments and to receive funds directly from the bank, right? You can directly, now what is happening in most of the countries, people are using credit cards, right? Credit cards, they're using debit cards. Now you have to carry something along with the regular things, like card has to be there. Like now, what is the drawback with that? Sometimes it may be a possibility that you have forgotten your card somewhere, your purse has been stolen, right, in the crowd maybe. So again, it will be a problematic thing. But what are the basic things which required to have an UPI? The first thing is you must be having a mobile phone. Now I think with the invent of this smart mobile phones and this the technologies like 3G, 4G, and 5G that has been introduced, everyone started using mobile phones, right? So the very first fundamental things that a person should have is a mobile phone. Second, it should have a active bank account, right? Bank account has to be active. So for that, the government of India has also started another scheme which is called as Jan Dhan Yojana. What is Jan Dhan Yojana actually? Jan Dhan Yojana is like, it is an initiative wherein every citizen of India needs to create a bank account. Okay. Now with this possibility, once people have a mobile phone, once people have the bank account, now what is the third thing which is required? It is required a kind of an app. Now app, all of you are aware of what is an application. If app is basically, you can install it in your mobile phones, and it's an easy way of operating by any particular thing. We are using social media apps. Similarly, you can install the UPI apps on the Google Play Store or some other Apple Store, whatever it may be. Okay. Now, these are the things which crucially require. And fourth is the internet connection. So internet connection has to be there. So this all four criteria, if one person is having, he or she may be able to use the UPIs in India. Okay. Now, UPI rapid adoption, we can see or figure out, we can see that there are 2.3 billion transactions which are processed for a particular month. And the highest one being recorded, I think, in the previous year, 2022, in the month of May, somewhat around the total transactions in terms of Indian currency, it was 8 lakh crore rupees. And if I convert it into some US dollars, it may somewhat probably around $1.3 billion, right? US dollars. So this is the transactions which is happening for a single month, for a particular month, right? And right, so you can see how useful the UPI is and what is the benefit, potential benefit of UPI, right? Now, what exactly is UPI? I'm telling you, UPI has a significant role in driving the adoption of digital payments in India, right? If I broadly categorize UPI, there were three different types of categories, wherein first is the bank type of UPI. I already told you about, like each and individual bank have their own set of UPIs being created. You can download their specific bank API, right? Like for example, State Bank of India, Canara Bank, there are different banks, commercial banks available, right? Wherein you create an account in that bank and you can download the particular apps for that specific bank, right? Then there are third-party UPIs. What are third-party UPIs? Like Andy has told you about the phone pay, right? There are Paytm. Paytm is a very, very important UPI which has been started again in the year 2016. Actually, they have started the operation in 2010, but in the 2010 they have not made use of this UPI concept because UPI has started in 2016. Initially, they have launched that Paytm app just for billing, sending money, paying your bills and all such type of things is usually happening, right? And there is third category of UPI, which is basically the government UPIs. Now, government UPI, the very common government UPI which was launched is BHIM, which is Bharat Interface for Money. Now, this is the UPI which is launched from the government of India. You can make use of this UPI, but unfortunately, this UPI is not very much successful as compared to the third-party UPIs as well as the bank UPIs. Another interesting thing that I must inform you that such UPIs, whenever you are initiating any kind of transactions, either you are sending money to anyone, either you are requesting money from the other person, no transaction process or charge is required, right? It is just free of cost. Okay, so this is basically a very good advantage of making use of APIs. Now, there are several types of APIs. I already told you one of them is Paytm. Now, what is Paytm? Paytm is a very big company. It was started, I think, in the year 2010, as I already told you about this particular. But initially, the focus is not on the UPI payments, but with the invent of the UPIs in 2016, they have leveraged. And at present, you can see that there were more than 16 billion or million users, 16 million users, registered users. I think this record I'm telling you about in the year 2020, maybe it has increased to somewhat more in the current years, right? And there were around more than 1 billion transactions which was happening every quarter by the people who are using Paytm, right? Another such as UPI is PhonePe. PhonePe is also very leading digital payment and the financial services. You can say that it was launched again in the year 2016 with the intent to make payments for the wide range of services. Now, see, there is it's not only intent to make the digital payment, right? You can pay your bills, electricity bills, you can pay your fees, you can pay a lot of things. Everything, whatever we initially used to pay via cash or via credit card or debit card, you can do all types of transactions using these APIs, right? So these are all the different type of. Now, what is the underlying technology behind which this UPI is actually working? See, UPI, how one can think and invest or link your bank account with the UPI, there has to be some security being provided, right? Now, how it is happening? Your money is transferred from your account to the other account whenever you are doing initiating the transactions. It is actually creating a virtual payment address, which is commonly called as VPA, right? Now, whenever you are linking your bank account with a particular app, any particular app you are using, so it is creating a virtual payment address. With the help of that VPA, you are initiating a transaction and sending the money from your mobile phone to the other mobile phone in whatever app it is connected to, right? So for that, again, I have already told you that the 4 necessary things has to be there. You must be having a bank account, which is linked to your UPI ID, right? PhonePe has been like, there were around 250 million round registered users as of now, and it is even more popular than Paytm nowadays. There were a lot of transactions being happening, and if you see the overall growth, it is valued for over around $5.5 billion. The company is. So again, there is another set of UPIs which is like a government offered UPIs. Like there is a Bheem UPI, which is commonly called as Bharat Interface for Money. Again, this is being started by NPCI, that is National Payment Corporation of India. It was also launched in 2016. Now, why this is being launched by the government of India? To make people aware of that, to do cashless kind of transactions, to rely less on the cash, and to make everything digitized, right? So the potential advantage of doing a digitization for the currency is that the transparency is there, right? How money is floating from one account to the other, everything is being a kind of a transparent end to end, right? And there is a record. There is no such sort of you can say people cannot do any kind of mishappening or misleads by exchanging cash, right? With cash, there are a lot of corruptions initially, which was there, which has reduced to a very large extent, right, in India specifically. So this is the basic intent of making the digitalized India, right? Now we can see that this is being so much accepted not only in India but to the other countries as well. Like for example, you can see the Singapore, Bhutan. These are all the countries, some of the countries like which have started the adoption of UPI. So they are actually being in talk with Indian officials, and they are implementing this UPI kind of currency in their own country. I think Bhutan is the second country which has recently tied up implementing this UPI concept in their country, right? And we can see that, okay, there is another set of, there are many countries wherein the Indians are being there, like they are being basically called as NRIs. Now they can create the account. They don't require the Indian mobile phones in order to link their bank account, which is there in India. They can even make use of the mobile phones of US or UK or whatever it may be, and they can link their bank accounts with that number, and they can perform such type of transactions. All they need to do is whenever they are opening an account in any particular Indian bank, they have to provide their number. That is the UK number or the US number. Okay, so this recently policy has also been started, right? And with this fintech technology, it's not particularly specific to the digital payment system. If you go to the other side of the financial sectors, like there are other sectors, like for example, the share markets, right? Share market is also one such growing field right now in the financial services, wherein there are a lot of being initiatives of startups which has been started in India. Like one of the example I can tell you is Zerodha. Zerodha is also basically a transaction systems platform wherein you can buy or sell stocks, right? You can purchase NSE and BSE, whatever, National Stock Exchange and Bombay Stock Exchange, right? So that is also growing a lot. So with this, I think Angie has already told that there were a lot of being startups being recently starting, which is making use of some different type of financial services or kind of technologies. They are introducing something so that in order to make everything digitized, right? So I think this is the basic things. I have not prepared any kind of slide for this, just a brief overview of how these all UPI system has been processed over a period of time. Now, one more thing I want to add, like, and he has already told is about she is using this UPIs. Now, UPI, there are people in India which are having multiple bank accounts, right? Like they are having accounts in SBI, they're having bank accounts in ICICI Bank, they're having accounts in some other banks as well. Now, UPI is a very wonderful thing in which they can link all their bank accounts under one UPI. So they can perform the transaction, they can send the money, they can lend the money through using different bank accounts with the common UPI. That is a very wonderful thing which is happening. Of course, it's not only that the other person has to have a UPI. With the help of UPI apps, you can even transfer money directly to the bank accounts, to other people's bank account, even if that person is not having any kind of UPI. Okay, so they are also provided some extra options apart from UPI to UPI money transfer. Okay, now this has become a very widespread usage, as Annie has already shown some of the slides wherein there were some vendors, local vendors, they are having some QR codes, quick response scan codes are there, wherein you can just scan their codes and you can send money directly to the UPI account linked to the bank accounts, right? This has been very common practice, because even if you see the auto rickshaws, local people, local vendors, everywhere, small shops where people those who have opened, even if you go to the rural places, people have started making use of these UPIs, and it has been very widely accepted throughout the country. And definitely it's been enhancing and going across the world, reaching new heights. Maybe this a concept of UPI, which has been which has started from India in 2016, is going to be adopted by many more countries in the future. That's a possibility. Kind. Okay, so with this, I end my talk on this UPI and the financial technologies in India. Thank you
Okay,
again for the.
thank you, Mr. And then thank you, Mr. Deep Khana. Then is really material, so we can know about the UPI system here, and also we can know the financial system in the Bank of India. So is I think India should become a partner and also collaboration with Indonesia about this system. They can adopt the system, can become in Indonesia, because it's easy for all of transaction, easy for become a business, also for improve any other startup in Indonesia, and also has collaborated about the technology in Indonesia. I hope it will be working someday, even not now. So for all of our audience, did you have any question for Mr. Sandeep Khanna or Miss Angge Kapratiwi about the financial technology in India? You can ask, or maybe you can give your opinion about our webinar right now.
Nisa, let me ask something about the UPI, which I don't know. To Sandeep sir.
Yes.
Actually, when I don't know whether this is easily to, because I know per person we can have easily this UPI, whether from the Paytm or another third party. If we are as this one, sir, businessman, like business vendor, like kind of the local shop, that we need to register or something, because at that time when I use my UPI, there is a limitation transaction. I think per day it's 25.
Per day. Yeah, there is a limitation for per day transaction. Right, right.
So for to open that limit, how we should
actually see this regulation in the limit has been introduced by NPCI, as already told, this, which has been launched, this API, that is National Payment Corporation of India. So for a specific set of users and for specific conditions, you could have a limit of 2 lakhs per day also, but some extreme conditions. See, as I told, this is the initiative wherein the concept is to introduce so that the maximum transactions is is possible in a digitized way, right? Reducing the cash kind of concept that was before, right? Now, in order to reduce the corruption level, right, when we are exchanging in terms of money and in terms of cash, so there might be a possibility of having some sort of corruption. But here, since each and every individual UPI ID is linked with the respective bank account, so whatever you are transferring now, that is completely kind of invisible to the government of India, right? So what you are saying is, yeah, there is definitely a limit that has been provided, that you can have a maximum of 1 lakh of transactions. But Apart from that, if you want to transfer more money, I have already told this, that you can transfer it not from UPI to UPI, but you can transfer from your UPI to the corresponding bank account of the other person, right? There is also an option, right? So you can directly send to the bank account through the IFSC. Like, you have to provide some more information, that IFSC code is there, and there are different ways of RTGS and NEFT way of transferring money if you want to send directly to the bank. So if you're sending directly to the bank, then that limit varies from bank to bank. Like for SBI, it is different. For ICICI, it's different, right? But for, if you are, because actually this is a day-to-day transaction on a basis. This UPI is not introduced to send a money of a very large, in a very large amount, right? Day-to-day transaction, what we are doing, we are purchasing something, we are going shopping and all. So for that 1 lakh per day, I think it's a good enough kind of limit, right?
So has there any question? Is it clear now? Miss Anggi.
Yeah, I think in here all the attendants still like imagining how it is going on in India and how easy use UPI in here compare in Indonesia. We use another apps. It's very very difficult, and we need to transfer our money to wallet first, then we can use it. And if the wallet is limited, we cannot transfer back to bank. That's happening in Indonesia right now. So I don't know now it's already improved or not. So interesting, this UPI technology.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So all of you are guys in audience, once more, if you have any question you want to ask about UPI, you want to ask about how different system financial in India between Indonesia, you should to ask with Miss Anggi or Mr. Sandeep Khanna, because this webinar is a talk about interesting topic. Actually, I also have one question. How can UPI working? I mean, what is the benefit with banking? If UPI has a free for all of transaction, so what is the benefit of banking? Because they're connecting each other, no? UPI, which banking, I mean, they become a partner. So this is a reason. Maybe if you have something reason, sir, you should to explain here. Maybe if someday I go back in Indonesia, I will maybe try to become a team how to create the UPI in Indonesia, and to make a partner with the corporation in India.
Right. I got your question. It's a wonderful question. Actually, what
Yeah.
the advantage the banking people are getting, like by introducing this UPI, right?
Yes.
See, whenever we are performing day-to-day transactions, now every by this now, what is happening? Every person has created a bank account, right? And in their bank account, they have deposited their money, whatever they are earning, maybe a salary people account or maybe some business people, right? So the the central place where all the money is there is the bank, right? Now bank can utilize their money, and they can lend that money, or that they can provide as a loan to different vendors. They can provide to business people, those who are requesting for the loans, for the organizations and all, and they can generate an interest out of it, right? So they have a lot of money now in the bank. The money is not with the people, because people are not storing cash in their homes. Initially, what is the concept of India as a country? I can tell you, if you go to the individual person's home, you can find they are having a lot of monies kept in their lockers and all, in their homes, almiras. They have a lot of monies being kept, right? But with this introduction of these all such things by which we can directly pay via mobile, they are keeping their money safe in the banks. They can only perform the transaction because they know no one is spending more than 1 lakh rupees. There are different elite kind of people, those who are spending. So there are different options for them. They can go with that. But for regular people, those who are earning, the average people, right? Average sector of the society, they are basically spending 1,000 rupees, maybe 5,000 rupees on a daily basis, right? And the maximum money is with the bank. So they bank can use that money, they can lend that money to the different lenders and providers, and they can earn the interest out of this. This is one possible reason why they have like gone into this. I hope this answers your question. And
Okay,
what was your
sir.
other question you have asked apart from this banking interest? I think you have asked one more question.
Actually, I hope it's only for my hoping. I hope this technology can become in Indonesia to is for easy all of transaction in Indonesia, because if we are using cash, it's not easy for making a data saving, and also it's not easy for a transaction because we should bring many cash in outside.
Right, right, right. Right. See, as I already told you that there were two countries, Singapore and Bhutan. They have already have a tie-up with Indian government, and they have also expecting and they have started the initiation of UPI in their own countries. So they are also asking their citizens to follow the same steps, the linking of their bank account with the UPI apps and all. And each one is having these four things. I think is the same for all the country citizens, right? People are having bank accounts, people are having mobile phones, they are having active internet connections, right? So these are all the
Yes.
things that one must have. So this is very easy, like to incorporate the same thing which is happening here in India to transfer it to some other place, to some other country. Okay.
Yes, you are right. Actually, it's about the cooperation between government and government,
Right,
and
right,
this why
right.
I hope this technology can come in Indonesia someday.
Sure, sure, sure.
So, for audience, do you have any question, guys, for this our topic? Mr. Rizal Maula, did you have any question? I think he is not there. So for that, I will give conclusion about this webinar first. Our conclusion is uh, technology financial in India is a more grow up than Indonesia, because in Indonesia we still use traditional technology. It's not technology. We still use traditional transaction in every kind of transaction in public, especially for cash money. So for that, we should do cooperation and become a partner with UPI, and we should do uh, work each other between government and government to improve Indonesian financial technology. So uh, I think it's all of our topic in this webinar about the financial technology in India. Because all of topic already our discussing about UPI, and also how to UPI working, and also about the system banking in India. But in Indonesia has a problem is about the internet connection and also human right. How who want to create this technology in our country especially? Yeah. So did you have any want to say, Mr. Rizal Maula?
Okay, thank you, sir, Sandeep. Maybe next agenda, I want to invite you again
Okay,
about
guys.
technology in India with Miss Anggi also. Thank you.
Okay, for our audience, we finally come to the end of this webinar. I would like to say to thank you for two our speaker is Miss Anggika Pratiwi and also Mr. Sandeep Khanna, and also for their informative and their information and their material in this webinar. So for our audience also, for thank you guys for your participant in this webinar. Thank you very much. I hope we can meet again in next event. last say, I want to say Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, sir.